All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Through the Ropes on the Underground Sound Project, right here on 102.7 CKMS FM Radio Waterloo, the sound of the community for 40 years. And we're sitting here in the studio with another fantastic edition of the Underground Sound Project's Through the Ropes. We have a couple of very special guests in the studio with us today, so be sure not to touch that dial. But I'd like to fact check Pepe. I made him. I just want to clarify some things for Corey Spade, who he may have thought he got some confusion. One of our former candidate, our TSP on CKMS alumni, we need to clear up. He thought we said that Reggie was the first two-time. We did not say that, Corey. Do not worry. Do not fret on the Facebook and social medias. You're polling somebody that we know in the famous world. It's like someone we know who's president. Fake news. Relax. But we are so honored to have anyone who's two-time, who keeps adding themselves to the alumnus here on TUSP. Anyone who comes by, we are so honored and thrilled. So stay tuned. We got so much great stuff on the way. Send in your questions at TUSP and CKMS, or at Tex Lexus, at PWA Big Ticket, or at PWA Canada. Send in your questions. We want your questions. We want to hear from you. Call us 519-884-2567. We can put you on the air. And not only that, just send us some personal messages if you know us. Give us a comment, or whatever. That would be much great. Check out pwacanada.com find out how you can buy some tickets and some of the other events. And PWA on Rogers, there's just an episode of PWA on Rogers on Saturday night at 10. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch that. I was at Summer Lights Fest. How was that episode, guys? Did you catch it?
I'm not sure. It was actually on the television up here. Somebody told me that it was preempted for something, bingo.
I saw Lenny Lilac say it was snooker.
Yeah, snooker. Yeah, that's what they told me. They told me some pocket billiards was on TV and they wanted to watch professional wrestling.
Well, I think that they should have some of the PWA talent on the snooker show. I think Lenny Lilac would fit in fantastic with that show. Let's start something online to get him on that. But also check out some Shaw episodes of PWA on Shaw on YouTube, and they're great episodes. It's good watch. I'm very serious about that. Do you guys watch the Shaw TV?
I've seen some episodes, and very entertaining. Anytime PWA is involved in a wrestling show, you know you're going to be entertained.
Yes,
all right?
Absolutely. It doesn't matter even if it's here, out west, or even down in Trinidad Tobago, where we were seeing Reggie at. How's it going down there?
Not too good, but good. We'll see what happens.
Well, they're hanging on. We know Venom's gonna
hanging on by a limb.
So hopefully we'll see something out of them. Stay tuned for all that. And then I also want everyone to check out Wrestling is Life, Life is Wrestling podcast on YouTube with PWA's own Cuban sensation, Elian Habanero. He's going on like his 96th day of a show, 96 episodes of Willu, so check him out on YouTube. And as I said earlier, upcoming, there's Canada Day event, Cambridge, Riverside Park, where you'll be able to see Tex Lexus and Reggie Marley, as well as Alpine Club on July 22nd. And that's going to be exciting. And that's going to be very exciting because we're going to be able to see some of the candidates for the commissionership come up and show themselves to the people. And we've had, like I said earlier, we've had Corey Spade and Commissioner Michelle on the show. So now it's time for Tex to have his say and his spotlight here on the Underground Sound Projects Through the Ropes. Reached out to Nicky Martin. Too bad for him. Screw him, I guess. Yes, screw him, I suppose. So it's all your floor right now, Tex. We got some questions for you, if that's okay.
All right, shoot.
First off, I just want everyone, we're just going to get to know Tex so we know who we're voting for this next month. And just start off, we hear you're from Amarillo, Texas. Is that where you were born?
It's pronounced Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Right?
I am sorry, sir.
Not whatever the hell you were just saying. It's Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo.
And yes, I was born and raised right in the heart of the Texas Panhandle. That's Amarillo, Texas. And I love it there. I mean, it's It's a great city. Little, about the size of this KW that we're in, and big wrestling community. Everybody loves wrestling. It's a birthplace of professional wrestling. So, great place to grow up.
Well, what was your favorite team growing up? Sports team around there? Did you like baseball, football, hockey?
Well, you grow up in Amarillo, you're basically bound to the Dallas Cowboys, all right? If you don't like the Cowboys, you're probably getting beat up somewhere. But, I like the Cowboys. I like the football. Watch the Texas Rangers out of Arlington. Like them. Always appreciate when they beat up on the Blue Jays.
I was going to ask you that question. What is your opinion on that whole sports rivalry?
Well, sports ain't sports unless there's rivalries. You got to have them. I'm just glad that we're on the winning side in Texas, all right? I feel sorry for those people up in Toronto. They haven't had a winning team in how many, like 80 years or something?
I feel like the last couple times they have met, the Jays have won about,
You don't know anything about baseball, Pepe? You're sitting there wearing a Blue Jays jersey. What the hell you know about baseball?
I'm looking forward to watching them beat the Texas Rangers tonight, so should be a good time.
It should be. Like I don't know what's going to happen tonight. We might end up seeing another brawl again. We might end up seeing a potential clearing of benches.
You might see a brawl in here right now before I'm going to pay Reggie Marley another $5,000. He'll jump across this table, beat the hell out of you.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to roll on with the questions. We'll have to keep going on, and we'll get away from the Texas Rangers topic. How was home life growing up?
Home life was fantastic. Fantastic in Amarillo, I went to General Lee Elementary School, and I had a couple good friends, the Cooper boys, Zeke and Zach. Now they were, you ever watch an episode of Cops, and you see that, squirrely-looking kids running around in the front yard that has plywood all over it, and there's an old Trans Am up on blocks?
Those are always the good
That
ones.
was the Cooper boys. That was Zeke and Zach. Now, one time, I have a funny story. And it's got a message to it, so kids, if you're listening, just listen up, all right? We were out down in the backwoods up by their place, and we ended up by the creek down through the holler.
Oh.
And old Zeke, we used to go out there and light some firecrackers and, fish for crawfish and stuff like that in the creek, but this time old Zeke bought his old daddy's Winchester, little air rifle, BB gun is what you call it up here, right? Now, the movie, right? The Christmas movie where the kid asks for the BB gun, he ends up shooting his eye out.
Yeah, that's
well, wouldn't you know it if that's what happened to old Zeke, all right? We were shooting bottles and pop cans and whatnot. Old Zeke shot his eye out. Next year at school, they ended up calling him, yeah, I know, it's awful. They ended up calling him One-Eyed Zeke. So, kids out there, if you're listening, don't play with guns, all right? Guns are stupid. Don't play with them. They're not toys.
We're actually an advocate for that here on the Underground Sound Project. We're advocates in the community for gun control, so that is fantastic. That is a good thing for it. Can the kids vote?
The kids can vote, absolutely. The kids can vote.
I guess the kids might as well vote now. This is a safe future for
absolutely
PWA Tex Lexus.
As luck would have it, his brother Zach, he lost his arm in a tractor accident 2 years after that. They called him One-Armed Zach. So the family had One-Eyed Zeke and One-Armed Zach.
I feel bad for laughing.
If I still knew him today, I'd make a tag team. They'd be the champions,
Do you give them tickets? Do they come to events? Do you give them some help?
Well, One-Eyed Zeke, things went south for him, the kids and the bullying. And like I said, you shouldn't be bullying kids either, right? But it was back in the day, and he kind of fell in with the wrong crowd, ended up sticking up a convenience store. Problem is, when he demanded the cash, he couldn't see anything on his left side, right? There was a state trooper standing right beside him.
Oh.
Brought him up to the state pen for another 15 years, something, haven't seen him.
So he's gone.
Yeah, and Zach, who knows? The guy grew up with one arm. It's tough, right? So I don't know where he is. He might have ended up in the pen, too. I don't know.
So a tough background. A lot of the people around you, they didn't have it so easy. They didn't get it so lucky as you did.
No, it's no joke in Amarillo. You got money or you don't got money. And a lot of people don't got it.
Okay.
And when you don't got it, you want it. So you do what you got to do for it, right? So, it was a little bit of a tough upbringing, but, I made it out.
Did your relatives help you out? Did you have any brothers and sisters that you stuck by?
Yeah, I had two brothers. I have two brothers, not had. That's past tense, but I got two brothers, and my daddy named them both after cities in the great state of Texas. My older brother Dallas, he's football. He was a football player. Ended up blowing out his ACL in his sophomore year of college.
Wow.
He was a quarterback, really good, a lot of talent. But now he's selling insurance down in Lubbock. And then my middle brother Austin. Now he's watching the family ranch right now, but he was really good on the bucking Broncos. He was something like 5 or 6 time state Texas bucking Bronco champion. But now he's retired from that, and he's just watching after the farm right now. So when I popped out, my daddy looked at me and said, "Damn, this guy's going to be even greater than the other two. So we're not going to name him after the city. We're going to name him after the entire state." So that's why they named me Texas J. Lexus. People call me Tex, though. That's all right.
What does the J stand for?
Jebediah, after my grandpappy.
Oh, that's pretty
a good
cool.
name.
Was he in the Civil War? Is that a Civil War name?
Come on, man. How old do you think he was? Civil War. He was in WW2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I still wear a ring.
Great grandpa. It was your grandpa.
I wear a ring around my finger that was molded out of a piece of shrapnel that was pulled out of his thigh for WW2. Yeah, so it was real close to my heart.
That's a keepsake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you carry that with you to the ring?
Absolutely. Never take it off.
Wow. So family's close to you. You keep it close. It's important. It matters.
If you ain't got family, you ain't got nothing. All right?
Okay. That's another good life lesson. Life lesson after life lesson. Wow. What a true candidate here. Who were some of the people that you grew up with? Some of the friends, some of the family members. Did they like wrestling?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, in Amarillo, you grow up liking the Cowboys, and you grow up liking professional wrestling. All right, there's wrestling everywhere. It's like they might as well just teach it in school, But my grandpappy he's the guy, right? He was the one that loved wrestling. He got me into it, watching it on the TV on Channel 6 in the Saturday mornings. But funny story, he brought me out to the Dallas Sportatorium the first time. Now the drive from Dallas, it was I think it was my 7th birthday. He said, "Tex, we're going to go down to the Sportatorium. We're going to watch the wrestling show, all right?" So he brought me out there. Now normally the drive from Amarillo to Dallas is about 6 hours. But we had to take the back roads, because he was wanted by the law at the time. He was in the moonshine business,
all right.
Nice. The cops they kind of wanted him a little bit, so we had to avoid the interstate. Normally you take the 287, but we took the back roads, which was fine.
What
because
was the car you guys were running?
Sorry about that.
What was the car you were running?
Oh, geez, I don't know. He had a Dodge, a big V8 in there. I can't remember the name of it.
Good old Dodge.
But
you were going to wrestling.
Oh yeah. We were riding in. We were riding in a Dodge all the way down there.
And so at that point, did you have a common wrestler with him, a favorite wrestler, someone that you wanted to be?
Well, hang on there, James. Let me finish the story.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's all right. It's all right.
I thought you were finished, sir.
No.
I'm so sorry.
It's only getting started. So anyways, we head on down there, and we had to go to the back roads, which, like I said, was fine because my Aunt June, she owned an ice cream shop in some little town. It was just outside of Wichita Falls. But so we ended up there. I got a cone. I think I got Rocky Road, I believe it's Rocky Road. But whatever. That doesn't matter. So we ended up at the Sportatorium, and we got front row tickets. Now imagine that, first time 7-year-old child sitting front row at Dallas Sportatorium. Now it turns out my granddaddy, because of the moonshine business, he had a little bit of influence with the local politicians. So we got ourselves some front row seats. Now, the card itself, I don't really remember. I know the Funks were there. The Funks were always there. I think Blackjack Lanza might have been there. Might have been the Freebirds, too.
Oh.
But probably the Von Erichs as well.
Okay.
But the whole reason that I was there, because my favorite wrestler at the time was this guy I used to watch on Saturday mornings. His name was Mr. Steroids, Jack Juice. Now, this guy, he was from Southern California. Bronze skin, bleach blonde hair. And the guy was jacked. Now, I'm telling you, he called himself Mr. Steroids for a reason. This guy looked like he was advertising the steroids. Right? He makes Jinder Mahal of 2017 look like Jinder Mahal of 2014. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So anyways, he was there. He was defending his, now what was that? It was the Northwest Texas television title. That's what he was defending against this guy from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a legitimate tough guy by the name of the Outlaw Mac Winters. Now, Winters, like I say, legitimate tough guy, came to the ring. He had hands as big as hams, and he was something. So, in this match, It was the only match I really cared about for the night. So they were fighting. It was a hell of a brawl. And then suddenly, I don't know why, but the referee got distracted, had his back turned. All of a sudden, the outlaw, Mac Winters, reaches into his trunks, pulls out a roll of quarters, and he cold cocks Mr. Steroids right across the face, right? Right between the eyes. He goes down, quarters go flying. One of them rolls down by my feet, and I'm looking down at it thinking, damn, should I pick up that quarter?
That's pretty cool.
But I couldn't. I was in shock. My hero was down on the canvas, and he couldn't get up. And you know when they say you're in a car crash or something where you get, everything's in slow motion? That's exactly what happened, all right? Now, Mac Winters, he dropped to his knees, covered Mr. Steroids just as the referee was turning around, and I wanted to say something, so I stood up and I tried to yell, but nothing came out. I was in shock, and the referee counted 1, and I thought, oh no, he's going to lose the belt because of this. And I was trying to get the referee's attention to look at the quarters scattered all around. I don't know why he didn't see them. Referee counted 2, and oh no. Third count went down, and then everything went back to reality, and all I saw was Mr. Steroids Jack Juice laying on the canvas, blood pouring all over his face,
that's
and
terrible.
the outlaw Mac Winters standing over top of his television title. So I was in shock. I was in tears. I was a 7-year-old kid. My hero just lost his title.
Wow.
My grandpappy looked over at me. He said, Tex, there's a lesson to be learned here. He said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Okay.
Right? So from that moment on, I learned that you got to do what you got to do to get what you want.
Wow.
As it turns out, I actually did pick up that quarter.
That's interesting because I was just about to ask you that. So you take that through all these years. Was that something that you did wanting to be a manager? Or did you want to do that being an actual wrestler? Did you end up training ever?
Well, I was, I don't know if you ever been to Texas, but they growing big back then, down there, right? Now, I'm not a very big guy, never was. Growing up through grade school as a scrawny little kid, probably had my nose in the books a little bit more than I did in the weight room. So, no, I never got into the wrestling game. I, was focused on the education, trying to, get my priorities straight so I could make some money. And, I always loved wrestling, but I never trained. No, never trained.
Okay. So you're on definitely from the manager side, the behind the scenes side of getting things rolling in the sense of you want to go out there, you want to find guys to bring out to the ring so that you can get your stable going.
Absolutely.
So it's all about making the franchise, that perfect franchise.
Well, when you got the talent to recruit the talent the way I do, you can't help but make a perfect franchise or faction, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the talent. Look at the success I've had in the last year in the PWA. Tag team champions until Jimmy King screwed that up. But now I got Joey Allen. The man's a wrecking ball, tough as nails and grittier than a gravel sandwich.
Well, Joey Allen, he is pretty amusing. I follow him on the social medias, and he is definitely popular amongst the people. So you're seeing that maybe even getting some of the people that are also they're good with the fans, get them on your side. Is that basically your secret recipe to get everyone to win, everyone to vote for you next month?
Well, there's no real secret recipe. I think the fans, they know what they want. They want a good show, all right? Now, Michelle had her chance. She's been putting on some great shows, but you know what? The fans are getting a little bit sour with that. It's a little stale, and they want to see some change. Now, Corey Spade did the same job, and that went for a flop. And from the stories I've heard, Nicky Martin also had the job for a little bit. And exactly, Reggie. Clearly, that went for a flop too. So the fans, they're looking for change, and I think Tex Lexus is the man to bring it to them.
I think so too, and we're gonna find out. We have some questions, the nitty-gritty questions for what you will do for the PWA commissionership, coming after the next couple of songs that we have here. Copperhead Road.
Oh, that's a good one. That one reminds me of my grandpappy Jebediah, because, the moonshine business.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know the song, listen to the lyrics and you'll understand, all right?
It is a fantastic song, and this is something that you should turn up the volume for. Here is Steve Earle, Copperhead Road. We're going to be back in a few minutes with Tex Lexus and Reggie Marley. Don't touch that dial. This is the Underground Sound Project's Through the Ropes, the region's #1 wrestling podcast and PWA's official radio correspondent. This is DJ JD, and beside me is
The Pepe.
And across from me is
Tex Lexus.
Big Ticket.
Don't touch that dial.